Hi everyone, this is a quick demonstration on how to automate a process using UiPath. What we have here is the dashboard for UiPath, and the program is built using a flowchart of steps. So I already went ahead and built a small program for entering data in an Excel sheet into um, a, a test form that I found online. Is add the city to our program, so it will fill in the city because we don't have that yet, and it's not in the Excel sheet. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I would like to explain what it's doing. So the start of the program goes into this Excel application scope, and what that does is it, it does a bunch of activities on one workbook. So you give it the path of the workbook, and every time you're doing some sort of text, you have to put it in quotes. So you give it the path of the workbook. You can also use the finder to find it, and then we're going to do read cell activities. So we give it the sheet name and the cell that we want to pull. So we have the sheet name and cell A2, so that gives us the title. And so then we have to create a variable as an output. We can name it whatever we want, but I mean the title. And so this one is pulling the B2 cell, so that one's the first name, and this one is pulling the middle initial, so that's that one, and then last name and company, which correspond to these fields right here. Now, once we get the variables, once we get the data from the Excel sheet and we have it saved in our program, now we can go, we can use this activity where we open the browser and we give it the page, the path to the page that we want to open it on. And we can go in and use this type into activity. And so in the title field, we want to type in the title, which remember we save that data from the Excel sheet, and then first name, mid initial, and so on. Okay, so we want to go. The first thing we want to do to add the city is we want to create in our Excel sheet a field named city. From Folsom, that is about me. I'm not from Folsom, but I live in Folsom. So I'm gonna, that's the data. Now, to add a feature here, we're just gonna copy this because we're already getting a field. That's what we want to do. We want to change the E2 to D or F2, okay? Because that will grab the city field. And we want to go here. It's not going to be the company. Now we're going to create a variable by right-clicking, create variable, and call it city. Okay, so now we created a variable named city, and that's going to be the output for this read cell activity. And in order to add an activity, like I did, I copied an activity and pasted. But in order to add one, all your activities are right here, and you can search for them. So if I was to search for read cell, we would have two different versions of it. This one is for an Excel application scope. It's when you want to do multiple activities on one workbook. But let's say I had a workbook where I only wanted to get one piece of information from that workbook. Like I only wanted to read one cell, then I would use this activity because because this activity provides the path to the Excel sheet. This one doesn't. You have to use it in Excel application scope. Okay, so now that we did that, we want to go in here. I'll show you how to do it. So go here, instead of copying, I find the activity, type into, go here, it's going to ask me to indicate the element inside the browser. Okay, so what we want to do is click that. The element is right here. So I want to click that, and that is going to tell the program where I want to type it into in the browser. And then the input for this activity is going to be that variable I created called city. Now it's giving me an error here. So city is not declared. So what I forgot to do was I forgot to set the scope for the city variable. So let's go back here. If I go here, these are all my variables inside the program. So I want to go and find city, and as you can see, this is less important, but it is a string, so I'm going to set it to a string. And the scope is in the do part of the application, but we don't want it there. We want it in the flowchart so I can see it on this level. Okay. So now there's no error, as you can see, and I think we're good. So let's go ahead and try running this. Okay. First, I'm going to close this. I don't want to another browser. I want to close the Excel sheet. That's important because if it tries to access an Excel sheet while it's open, it's going to throw an error and say that Excel sheet's open. So you got to make sure that you close all that stuff when you're running a program like this. Okay, and then we're going to hit run. Should open the browser. Okay, but open the browser. It's running a little slow, I think, because of the recording. Okay, so now it starts entering in information. Now let's see if we get to city. There it goes. It got city, and the program is done. And as you can see, it filled out the form with the information that was in that Excel sheet. Thank you.